Everybody, welcome. This is Footy Portal. This is our new channel. This is our first live stream with two amazing guests from Malaysia. Wanted to say thank you to Ram and to Hari for staying up so late. It's 10 o'clock in Malaysia time. Welcome, guys. It's good to see you.
Oh, very good to see you as well, Ray. Really happy. Looking forward to it, man. Cheers.
Thanks for having us, Ray. It's good to see you again, man. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Thanks
good
for
to
having
see
us
you.
on.
So excellent, guys. So if Hari or Ray, do you want to give a quick overview of your channel to all our viewers so they know, what your channel's about? Either one of you can go ahead on that one.
I'll let Ram start.
Okay.
Okay. Well, hi guys. My name is Ram, and of course my co-host Hari. So I'm a Man United fan. My co-host is a Liverpool fan, and we do have a channel known as The Plot Malaysia, and we basically do football talk shows about all football teams. So all fans of all football teams are more than welcome to join us, come on our show and give their opinions about their team. Of course, voice out their frustrations as well as celebrate their team's success. So yeah, that's basically our channel in a nutshell. Yeah.
Excellent, guys. I've seen the channel.
For the fans, by the fans.
It's for the fans, by the fans. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for the fans. It's an excellent channel. I'll put the link in the description and when the video is uploaded. So guys, listen, there's only one place to start on this. There's only one place we can start Man United Liverpool. Now, I'm not going to start with the Ram because I know he's probably depressed. I'm going to start with the happy guy. So Hari, first of all, tell me, going into the match, and being honest, what were you sort of expecting the result to be going into the match?
So I've got to be honest, Ray. We've been in great form. I think we went into the game unbeaten in 22 matches across all competitions. We had scored pretty much 3 or more goals in 7 or 8 consecutive away games. So we're in really good form, including scoring 3 at Atletico Madrid as well, which is a really tough place to get a result at and score goals at. So going to, of course, in good form. Obviously, Mo Salah best in the world right now. So confident, but as always, going into a United game at Old Trafford, form goes out the window. It's their rivals. We have not had good form traditionally at Old Trafford, even under Jurgen Klopp. I think he's only won 1 game at Old Trafford, which was last year. I was quite nervous going into the game still. And Man United have all the threats. Obviously, they just won a comeback win against Atlanta, so they're on a bit of a high. Ronaldo, they've got the threats. Ronaldo, not playing as a team, but really good individual skills. Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes, obviously Rashford, Greenwood. So obviously nervous going to the game. But obviously it panned out completely different, as we all know now.
Yeah. So were you expecting to win, or would you have been happy with the draw?
I don't. We're expecting to win. I've got to be honest. I wouldn't have been happy with a draw. In the past, Klopp has gone there a little bit more conservative for some reason at Old Trafford, and I wanted him to go and get the result actually because they're not in good form. So the idea was to go on the front foot, and I wanted to win, but obviously it doesn't always turn out that way, and it could have gone either way going into the game. Obviously nervous, but yeah, I wanted to win coming out of it. Yeah.
And have you been happy with, you mentioned about the good form Liverpool have been in, so obviously Mo Salah's on fire, etc. Any areas of the team that you was not happy with, you wanted changed, or were you overall happy with all aspects of the team?
So very happy with all aspects of the team. There was only one concern, and it was on the right-hand side of our defense. Going into the game, this is, because if you watch the game at Atletico Madrid, they targeted the side of Trent Alexander-Arnold. Naby Keita was pulled off at halftime because he was getting exposed all the time. So they kept coming at us on that right hand side. The other game that we hadn't done well in this season was Brentford away, and same, they targeted Trent in the air and our right hand side of defense. And then Man City did that as well. But obviously at that point in time, Milner was playing right back, but they went on that side of the field. So that was a concern, and especially with Rashford, because Rashford has had a lot of joy against Trent on that side of the pitch. And my fear was United would sit back and play those diagonals or play long balls over to Rashford and with Trent high up the field would get exposed. So that was my only concern. Everything else was fine. That was the only concern going into the game. But I think Klopp did a great job actually addressing that. Obviously, he made a change. He pulled Matip out of the team. He put Kante in there, and that solved that issue pretty much. Yeah.
Excellent. Thanks, Hari. That's really good. And we'll come back to you in a minute. I just want to go to the sad part of the team now, really, which is Ram. Ram, now, I know we've spoken before, but did you weren't happy with Man United's form, etc. But what were your thoughts going into that match and what you could achieve against Liverpool?
Like what Hari said, form goes out the window when it comes to these games. Of course, myself and Hari, we had a live stream before the game. And it was a very good, topic that we discussed about the game. But we both knew that this game was something that form goes out the window. Both teams will be at it from the start. You don't know what to expect. But to be very honest, I was very confident, thinking that United had the players that could do the job. They could do the job. And I just disregarded all the previous results that they had and just wanted to focus on this game. And I think, in my opinion, I felt the players knew how much it meant to them, how much it meant to the manager, how much it meant to the fans. But after, of course, seeing what happened, question marks all over the place, and definitely very upset, and just hoping for a better day ahead from this. Yeah, so that's basically how I felt.
But going back to what Hari said, United coming off a good comeback win against Atalanta in the Champions League. So you must have been high in confidence. We're going to get into this obviously, but what was the main issues? I think, speaking to Hari, you've got a good team on paper.
Yeah.
You've got a really good team. So what is the issue there? Why did you capitulate like that?
I think in all fairness, when you look at United, they have been very lackluster in defense. If you say they have been conceding early goals, they have always been trying to come back from behind. I mean, it was good practice, to be honest, because the resilience was there, in the sense that you go behind 2 goals, you could still score 3 goals. But in the Premier League, it's different. Especially against a team like Liverpool. Even though Liverpool are a team that also concede goals, off late they have been conceding goals. That was where I thought, we could also enjoy a little bit of goal that could be scored against Liverpool. But I think, in all fairness, with the way that we have been, doing defensively, I think it was very clear and evident that we were not good enough. I don't think at the moment we are good enough compared to a lot of teams in the Premier League in terms of our defense. So with that shaky defense, with the lineups that Solskjaer put on, in the first 11, just was very disappointing, in my opinion, because I think if it was another manager, I think he would have done differently. But yeah, I think the whole thing has to be about how the lineup was being prepared. And I don't understand why Maguire was still in the starting lineup as well, because he's not really fit. So, like I said earlier, a lot of question marks, and sometimes you don't get the answers, but it's pretty obvious.
Yep. And we're coming to Ole in a minute. Hari, let me come to you now. I mean, is this a question, and I'm just talking as an outsider, is this a question of United being very, very bad, or is it a question of Liverpool just being unbelievably good on the day?
A combination.
Or is it a mixture of both? Sorry.
Yeah, it's a combination of the two. So, if you watch the pundits and all the broadcasters, etc., after the game, and a lot of the podcasts as well, you'll see a lot of the focus has been on United and how bad they were. I think you've got to give Liverpool credit as well, which I think they haven't been getting enough of. I thought they were outstanding on the day, and they exploited the weaknesses in that Man United team perfectly. So I think it was a combination of the two things. But Liverpool really didn't have to get out of second gear. They were pretty much in second gear, and it was more than good enough to beat this Man United team, who in my opinion were tragic. I think that's the only word. It's the worst. It was the worst United team I've seen play. It was almost like it seemed like kids in a playground. They didn't know what their jobs were. I'm not even joking about this. They didn't know what their jobs were. One guy would press. And even the press was a half-hearted press, and the rest of them would not press from behind. It was a shambles. It looked like a team that's not been coached, basically, that's not been drilled. And you don't expect that from a Premier League outfit, especially one at the top of the table. So in my opinion, it was shocking. It was good for a Liverpool fan to see. But, I mean, if I'm a United fan, if I was a United fan, I don't know how there can even be a split about the manager. I think it should be 100% him out. So for me, that's shocking to see, because they look like a complete team that's full of stars, but not a unit, not well drilled, not well coached. They don't know what their tactics are. They have no identity. And it's not just this game. You watch all their games. You don't know how they're going to play. So for me, there shouldn't even be a debate, actually. But the fact they're debating it, I'm all for that, because I'd rather he get a contract for life, actually.
Oh my goodness!
I think we're all hoping he gets a contract for that.
Yeah.
But Harry, do you think that the United player had a sense of inferiority complex against Liverpool? They were they just felt like, doesn't matter what we do, guys, we ain't going to be beating this team. Do you feel that they were a bit scared of Liverpool?
No, I think they were not actually. I think that probably happened after maybe 1 or 2 goals. I just think they were set up. They're not well drilled. They were set up in the wrong way because Ole's had joy against the big clubs, really playing a defensive game, having 10 players in the box and counter-attacking with pace.
Yep.
I think it's the first time where he decided to go toe-to-toe with Liverpool. So in fact, I don't think they had an inferiority complex, which I think was their flaw because not inferiority complex, but I think they didn't have respect for Liverpool and how good Liverpool are. How good you got to pay some respect to the opposition.
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
And many teams know, even the top teams know, when you play Liverpool, you sit back, you crowd your box out because if you go toe to toe with them, they will dismantle you. They've got that much. They're really good counter pressing team, etc. And I think that's the biggest mistake he made.
And even just defending, you can't do that against Liverpool. For 90 minutes, you're not going to be able to stop them making chances, and they're so good, they're going to take chances as well. So it's very difficult. Ram, let me come to you now. Quick question now. You lost, I can't remember, was it 6-1 to Tottenham, and then you've lost 5-0 to Liverpool. Which defeat is more painful for you, and which one are you upset about more?
No, definitely Liverpool one, for sure. Because the Spurs game... Marcel got sent off pretty early in the game, so the game was killed. But against Liverpool, these are all goals that were avoidable, if I were to say, because the defense were in shambles. Shaw clattering into Maguire, leaving holes the back. These are all things that you don't see a proper Premier League team do, and let alone Man United. They've been one of the top teams in the Premier League for so many years. And to see them actually perform in that manner at home at Old Trafford, it's absolute nightmare. And to be honest, I'm speaking on behalf of a lot of United fans. I'm one of them who had sleepless nights after the game. Unlike Hari, he probably slept very soundly, and he woke up the next day with full of joy. And I was being trolled, continuously. But
I can imagine
to be very
you
honest,
trolled,
exactly. But to be fair, I think I've got to give credit where it's due. Liverpool did play very, very well, and like Hari said, they did not even get to second gear. They did not even go past second gear. So we got to take our medicine. We knew, how good Liverpool are, and of course, we can only hope that the return match at Anfield. Whoever the manager is, or if it's still Ole, take down some notes and, hopefully he does the right thing. That's all I can say.
Because that Shaw Maguire thing happened against Tottenham as well, I think, for one of the goals they got in each other's way. It seems like it hasn't been solved in a whole season.
And that was last season, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Last season, yeah.
It's been terrible. It's been terrible.
This is and one other thing I wanted to ask you, Ram. One of the reasons I think Man United beat Atlanta was the crowd were behind them, etc., and they really, cheered them on to score. What happened to the crowd? I mean, against Liverpool, did they seem behind the team, or were they just really, what did you think on that?
I think, to answer that question, Ray, is to also look at the Atlanta game as well, because if you look at United going 2 down at halftime against Atlanta, and with Atlanta not having their 5 of their main players in the team, that is itself, it's very disappointing. So with United coming on and winning 3-2, it was more like a relief sort of a feeling, if you get what I mean. And of course it's Champions League. So Champions League nights at Old Trafford tends to have this kind of a feeling where, you may go down, you may come back, because you can't compare the Champions League to the Premier League. It's 2 different things. But in the Premier League, you are expected at home to put on a show, regardless of whoever you face. You are expected to go out there, and even if you lose the game, it doesn't really matter, because as long as you're showing a fight, putting up a good fight, then you can say, we played well, but it wasn't our day. But it's good to see the players doing really well, attacking. But in this game, Ray, to be honest, there was no gameplay, there was no tactics. Everyone just looked out all over the place. So that's why I felt the fans just had enough, and that's why you saw a lot of fans actually walked out from Old Trafford, because they just couldn't see it anymore, and because they knew with 4-0 at halftime, it's impossible for United to come back at the game. So I think I totally echo their sentiments, and I totally understand why. Yep.
Harry, if I could come to you now, buddy. I mean, at final, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but at 5-0 up, there was still 15, 20 minutes to go in the match, correct?
Half an hour to go.
Half an hour. So why did Liverpool, and I don't agree with this, why did they take their foot off the gas and just sort of play it around like a practice match? Why didn't they try and really humiliate them and go, and they're down to 10 men with Pogba sent off? Why didn't they try and humiliate them?
That's a good point, right? So I think it was, people are saying it was not to humiliate Man United any further. That's what's going around, but that's not the reason it was done, in my opinion. The reason it was done was because of that Pogba challenge. We were already 5-0 up when Pogba made that challenge.
Yeah.
And if Keita's foot was planted on the ground, he would have had a broken leg.
Yeah.
We've already had one with Elliott this year.
Yeah.
So I think the reason why Klopp said to do that was to avoid any more dangerous challenges, because the United players were getting so humiliated.
Oh, I see. That's a good point.
Frustrated.
Going down the wrong road. They were going down the wrong road. They were making a lot of dirty challenges. Bruno had a very bad challenge as well, which is another possible red card offence.
Yeah.
Ronaldo, he kicked the ball into the stomach of Curtis
Yeah,
Jones
it should have been a red card as well, yeah.
It could have been a red card as well. So they were making some nasty challenges. I think they had about 6 yellow cards as well. And it was too risky. And we could have lost another player to a long-term injury. So the idea was just keep the ball, don't humiliate them any further, and get out of there without any more injuries. Because we already had Milner injured in that game. Then Keita went off injured. Thiago's out injured. Fabinho's out injured. Elliott's out injured. We've got a midfield that's decimated. So we wanted to get out of there without any more injuries, basically. So I think that was the reason why.
Okay, that's a very good point. I didn't think about that. Who was the centre backs again? Was it Van Dijk and Kante, was it?
Yes, it was. Yes.
So tell me about Kante. What was his performance like? Was it? I'm not sure if it's first start, but what did you think of his performance?
He was outstanding. So this is the thing with Klopp's teams, and even after 4 years of being a manager, 6 years of being a manager at Liverpool, a lot of opposition fans don't understand the way he operates. So they wonder, Konate was bought for 40 million. He hasn't been playing for 4 months. What's going on? That's the way Klopp works. When he brings a signing in, Fabinho didn't play for 3 or 4 months. He was basically to get used to the system, train every day, get used to the way we play, watch how the team plays. So when you come into the team, you're ready to go. Robertson was the same. He didn't play for 4 or 5 months. It happens to all our top players, basically. So Konate, young defender, really high ceiling as well, very talented, was brought in to get used to the system and how the centre-backs play. He played a couple of games. He played Crystal Palace at home in the league, and then he played a League Cup game as well. I think did he play Champions League as well? No, he didn't. He played the League Cup game as well. But I think he saw that this was the right moment to put him into the team. And it was a risk, obviously, against Man United away to throw him in. But I think he's seen, and Klopp has mentioned this in his press conferences, that Konate has been showing really good signs in training. And he's ready. So I thought it was a great, and it was a brilliant decision, in my opinion, because when Matip plays, Matip's been outstanding. But because he has a slight lack of pace, that's why teams have been exploiting that side. When Trent moves up, Matip cannot reach out to those players. He doesn't have the pace. Konate is rapid. Konate is a beast, basically. He's taller than Van Dijk. He's got a frame that's huge, and he's very fast. He's actually faster than Van Dijk, I would say. So he's got rapid pace, which is why he can cover for Trent. If anything goes down that side, he can cover. He's got the physicality to win headers up in the air as well. And I think another reason why he picked Konate over Matip was Matip's really tall, but Matip doesn't really have a good jump on him. He's a tall player, but he doesn't have a good jump on him. And when you have Ronaldo up top and how good he is in the air, I think that's the reason why I went to Konate, because Konate is really good jumping for the ball and hitting the ball out as well. So you have two of them there. You can deal with the Rashford threat, and you can also deal with the aerial threat of Ronaldo. So that's why, and I thought it was a masterstroke, absolute masterstroke by Jurgen Klopp, that one.
So is he going to be the new first-choice partner for Van Dijk moving forward?
No, I don't think so. I think it's going to be rotated, because all four of them are good. Joe Gomez played in the League Cup last night. They're all going to rotate, basically. I think Klopp has made it very clear. We've got 4 top-class centre-backs, and we're going to rotate them as fit, because we don't want a situation like last year where someone is overplayed and we pick up injuries to the centre-back position. So he's going to keep rotating them to keep them fresh, keep them on their toes, and to avoid injuries as well. So that's a great position to be in, I think.
Okay. Ram, let's come to you now, buddy. I don't know what to say. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has got so much support in the UK. I mean, all right, there are some fans who are against him totally,
Yeah.
but a lot of people are saying the board still like him. He won the European Cup for them. Is it realistic to suggest that he could be sacked? Do you think that's a real possibility or not?
I think when you look at the run of games, the run of forms that United has been having, it is, I think, accumulatively, if I was the board, I would see it as, yes, it is fair enough to say that he should get a sack, because we can't keep going into games, losing the first goal, coming back, getting draws, dropping points, not playing, the United way of football that we normally see every single time. So that it's not just a decision based on the Liverpool game, because you can win all those games before and still lose 5-0 to Liverpool and be like, yeah, okay, we can still keep him on because he has been having a good run of games. But the other games we were lucky, to be very honest, against Villarreal. We were also quite fortunate against Atalanta as well, to be honest.
I thought you were very fortunate against West Ham in the Premier League as well.
West Ham
we were very fortunate against
when West Ham missed that penalty.
Yeah, we were very fortunate against West Ham as well. Of course, against Aston Villa, it was unfortunate as well because they scored at the last minute. But Aston Villa was taking the game to us. So it was 5 or 6 games that showed us that Ole could not manage this team because of the players that we have now. So he's not comparable to Jurgen Klopp, Pep Guardiola, Thomas Tuchel. If United want to challenge for titles, they need to have a manager that has a strong stand that can say, hey, you're not playing good enough, get out. You're not playing good enough, I'm not going to put you in the starting 11. But he keeps doing the same thing over and over again. So that's why all United fans are just fed up, with his philosophy. I don't deny that he was a good player. I don't deny that he has good man management as per se. But I don't think that he is the man for the job right now. So I'd rather he leave on a good note, where people remember him for a good job that he has done, rather than, people hate him and then it becomes very ugly. So the right decision would be to let him go and bring on someone new. That's how I feel.
Can I just add something really quickly, Ray?
Of course, go ahead, Barry. Yeah, of course.
It's an even more damning fact, I think, on United. The fact that I'm just going to rub salt in the wound, basically, because I'm happy.
He has to.
Go ahead. This is what we love.
It's an even more damning fact that Liverpool were not even full strength.
Yeah,
they were not full strength for that game, by the way. So wait, Mane was on the bench, so Jota started, but that's fine. But we were missing Fabinho, he's our number 6. He's our number 6. We were missing Thiago Alcantara in midfield as well. Elliott, who's been starting the games in midfield for us, he was out. James Milner went off after 15-20 minutes with a hamstring injury as well. So we ended the game when Naby Keita went off. We ended the game with our last 3 available fit midfielders: Jordan Henderson, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who can barely get a game, and Curtis Jones, who's a 21-year-old midfielder. So we were not even full strength, which I think even highlights the fact that, and we won 5-0 and could have, if we put our foot on the gas, we probably could have run out of there with 7-8-0 or maybe even 9-0 win. So that's a damning fact on United, actually. It is.
Yeah, I mean, I think another damning fact is you lost to Villa, but Villa have been thrashed by Chelsea or thrashed by Arsenal. Even Arsenal beat them 3-0. Even Tottenham, who are playing really badly, beat them 2-1. So Villa are just a mediocre mid-table team. So you said that Ole needs to go up the next 3 games. So Tottenham away, and then Atlanta away, and then Man City at home. So if he comes out, let's say he comes out with 2 wins out of 3 on those, do you think he's going to survive?
Well, the way it looks at it, because Hari even asked me the same question as well. We're having this conversation.
Yeah.
It is plain to see that I hope that the judgment is based on the type of football that we are playing, the brand of football that we are playing, not about the results primarily, because to get a win is possible. It's not impossible. It's a football game. You can win 1-0, 2-1. It's fine. But where do we go from there? What is the United way of football? What is the brand of football that we're going to play? And like I told you before also, Ray, when we had the first, session before, I think, to be very honest, he needs to really, really, really rotate his players. And one thing I respect about Jurgen Klopp is because he has the bravery, to actually rotate his players at big games like this. United don't seem to do that. Ole doesn't want to do that. He's sticking with the same players and thinking that he can get a different result. So, in my opinion, that is already a red flag, because you have so many players on the bench where
So tell us some players on the bench like Donny van der Beek. What other players on the bench that you think he should be playing?
Donny van der Beek, Eric Bailly, who I felt was fitter than Maguire. You've got Pogba, who was on the bench as well, against Atalanta as well as against Liverpool. You've got
Anthony Martial, is it?
Anthony Martial on the bench. So these 4 players on its own. Cavani is on the bench as well. Matic on the bench. So, and of course Sancho is on the bench as well.
Jadon Sancho as well.
Varane is injured, so it's fine. But you've got these players that are on the bench, and you're not rotating them holistically, in my opinion. It's not fair. It's not fair for the players. It's not fair for the fans. It's not fair for the club. So if the board still decides that to keep him, it's only going to get worse. Unless if against Spurs he decides to change the formation, add some fresh legs into it, and then there's some football that's coming on. Then probably there could be a redemption for him, because that could be something we can build on. But as of now, I don't see anything positive in that aspect. So that's why I think he's not the man for the job. And
Go ahead, Harry. Go ahead.
I mean, how easy it is to spot that he's not the man for the job, right, Ray? I mean, you don't even have to go deep into things. You don't even have to overanalyze things. It's very simple to. This is the thing I don't get about a lot of United fans, actually, if they even still supporting the man, right, and say he's not the issue. Fred, who's obviously not performing for Man United, is a starter for Brazil. He starts over Fabinho sometimes for Brazil, and he's brilliant for Brazil. Pogba is brilliant for France. Jadon Sancho was brilliant for Dortmund. And they all, when they turn up at Old Trafford or when they put on their United jersey, they suddenly turn to crap. So, I mean, you can know what's the problem there, right? What's the issue? There's no tactics. Someone's not coaching them well. Not well drilled.
No. So a couple of questions for Ram. We're going to wrap it up soon. Ram, you're the manager now. I'm appointing you manager of Man United. Who's your starting 11 against Tottenham on Saturday?
Perfect question, because I came prepared with this. Okay,
I thought you might.
So assuming if Varane is fit, because he's back in training.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with 3-5-2 as my formation.
Okay.
Because 3 at the back looks more solid. So I'm going to go with Eric Bailly. I'm going to go with Rafael Varane in the center, of course. And I'm going to go with Lindelof, on the right central back. My 2 wing backs would be Diego Dalot on the right. And I'm going to have Alex Telles on the left. All right.
So no Luke Shaw then?
No Luke Shaw as well. Because
no Aaron Wan-Bissaka?
No Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka can never play wing back, is he?
I can explain.
He'll run backwards to its goal.
Because he can't cross the ball for now.
He can't cross the ball,
So I probably want to have 2 fresh legs on the side on the wing backs. And then I will go with, of course, 3 central mids with Bruno Fernandes, of course, Matic stuck in the middle, and I'll go with Donny van der Beek because he deserves a chance and he can play a pass. Of course, the front 2, I'm going to go with Marcus Rashford and Ronaldo. So this is my formation. Mason Greenwood is because I feel the link up between him and Ronaldo is not up to par yet. So I feel that there's been a lot of controversial decisions that he has made that has not benefited the team. So I think it's best that he actually sits on this one and, of course, learn how the game can be played. Of course, he will eventually be there or thereabouts, but I think it's time for him to really observe and learn from Marcus Rashford and, of course, the rest of them. So that's a really good
team. That's not a bad team, actually. It's a very good team. And just before we go to Harry, who is your... First of all, 2 questions. Who do you want to take the job if Ole's sacked, and who do you think will take the job? Because they might not be the same person.
Who do I want to take the job if...
No, I was going to come to... I'm asking this question of Ram. Who do you think will take... If Ole gets sacked, who do you think United will appoint as the new manager? And then I'll come to you, Harry, on a different question.
Oh, okay. That's a good question, actually. Like I do think that, of course, as of now, that's impossible to get Graham Potter because he's tied up with Brighton. So I'm not going to mention his name, although I think he's a really good candidate.
He could come to... I mean, United is a massive club, you don't put... I wouldn't discount that, But who would be your other preferred choices?
To be very honest, there are 2 names that come to mind. that I think could immediately make an impact, because what I want is an immediate impact, not something
of course,
as a project.
yeah.
So I think I'm going to go with my favorite would be Zinedine Zidane.
Okay.
In that sense. Yeah.
And what about Antonio Conte?
He's too similar to Jose Mourinho. I think I do agree with some of the reports where I feel that it's too defensive for my liking, personally. And I think
he's a winner. There's a proven winner, though, Ram.
He's a proven winner, but if you want a manager that's going to be giving you wins as well as good flowing football,
that's a good point. Yeah.
Where you can win in style, I think Zidane has it. So I think Zidane would be a better candidate than Antonio Conte.
Okay, excellent. Thanks. Hari, just finally, just give us your sort of summary on Liverpool and then the rest of the Premier League. Which teams have impressed you and which teams do you think are going to be challenging? Obviously, Liverpool are going to be challenging. Other than Man City, what other teams have impressed you, do you think could be challenging?
Yeah, so just before I get into that, I just want to throw something out there. You asked Ram who you think should take over from Ole. I had a great answer for this one, actually.
Go ahead.
You always seem to have a great answer about this.
He's currently out of
expert as well. Don't forget.
He's currently out of job as well, so he'll take the job easily. Steve Bruce. You like to go with the sentiments. They like to go with the sentiments of their former players, ex-players.
I suggested that to Ram on a previous stream. Steve Bruce and Roy Keane, double bill.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone
suggested Park Ji-sung.
Wait. I saw this troll. On social media, and this guy said, it doesn't matter how old Steve Bruce is, get him on right now. He's far better than Harry Maguire. So I was like, what? Oh my God. I saw this troll.
Brian, can I just ask you a quick question? Is Harry Maguire, have you ever rated that guy, or is it just now he's in bad form, or you think he's rubbish anyway?
I always thought he was a 80 million fridge.
Yeah.
In my opinion, the most expensive fridge ever. So I think even when I got him the first time, when he started playing, I wasn't really a big fan of him. And this entire season, last season, has been a proven testament of that. So I just hope that he doesn't start any more games for us. If he improves, well and good. But I hope that Ole changes stuff for now.
Yeah, you could never see Jurgen Klopp signing Maguire, could you? That would never happen. So Harry, who is going to be?
To even have him compared to Van Dijk is an insult. That's what people have done.
Yeah,
it's an absolute.
It's like
insult.
A Bentley and a sort of like a Fiat or something. Two different things.
So I didn't answer. Sure, go ahead, Ray.
So tell me, who Liverpool obviously going to be up there really because they've got all their players back. Who's going to fight out the champions, the Premier League this year with Liverpool? Who's going to be the main challenger?
So Liverpool in great form, going great guns, rotating and still winning games. Talent coming through as well, young talent coming through. The only issue with Liverpool, the only concern we have actually as Liverpool fans is the African Cup of Nations, which is coming in January. Which is where we'll lose Sadio Mane, Mo Salah, and Naby Keita, who's actually in great form now. Keita as well. So
how long are you using them for?
That's up for debate. I think Liverpool are asking for a permission to release them a little later so we can see off the fixtures in December. But I think they'll still, depending on how long they last in the tournament, I think you're looking at probably 2 or 3 games, which is not too bad actually. Too bad. But if they don't get the permission, it could be 5 or 6 games. Then it could be a bit dangerous actually. So that's the period we've got to get through. If we get through that period, I think
I wish we were playing Liverpool during that time where they went on the African Cup of Nations. How I wish.
Trust me, we would still beat you. We had Divock Origi score a goal again last night, and Takumi Minamino score goals as well. So it'll be fine. So who do you think will be challenging us? So I think Chelsea, obvious candidates. The thing with Chelsea is they're not really very attractive actually as a team and the way they play, but they're keeping a lot of clean sheets defensively, so they're going to get wins, right? So I think Chelsea is a real threat. Under Tuchel, he's a brilliant tactician. Obviously, Man City, I mean, they played us at Anfield. They played really, really well. So they're in good form as well. I think they lost against West Ham in the AFL Cup last night. But apart from that, really good form. Bernardo Silva is playing out of his skin, actually, in midfield for them. Phil Foden has been unbelievable this year so far. So I think they obviously are a real threat. I don't look as United. I think those are the 3 main contenders.
Yeah, sure, I agree. Yeah.
Who else has impressed me in the league? I'm going to say West Ham. West Ham have been ultra impressive, and
Brentford.
maybe that's someone. Yeah, Brentford, of course, but I think that's someone maybe Man United should have kept faith with more, because you keep faith with the guy. He's got a team functioning now. They're playing good football as well. and they're winning a lot of games. So I think West Ham have really, really impressed me. They're making an upward trajectory. They've got really good attacking players, and they've got a really sound defense. And I think two of the best defensive, I'm not going to say defense, two of the best box-to-box midfielders in the league in Declan Rice and Souček. So I think they're an outstanding team. They've been good. Everton have gone down the slope a bit. I thought initially they impressed, and then now they've sort of collapsed a little bit. I think Patrick Vieira's Crystal Palace play good football. They've drawn a lot of games, not won enough, but I think they're playing good football, very progressive football. I'll tell you, I'm going to throw something out here, Ray, which is something you may not like. But there's a team that has really impressed me over the last few weeks, and that's Arsenal. I've been
impressed by them. Yeah,
I've been bigging them up in our live stream for the last 1 month. Actually, people thought I was crazy, but I said if you look at that starting lineup now, they've got an outstanding team. That defense is brilliant now. Tomiyasu is outstanding as a right back. Ramsdale is a really good goalkeeper. Gabriel and Ben White are probably two of the best defenders in the league, centre backs. Kieran Tierney is one of the best left backs in world football. And then in midfield, Thomas Partey is brilliant. And then obviously partner him with, let's say, a Granit Xhaka or a Lokonga, who I think is very impressive as well. And then up top, they've got options. Emil Smith-Rowe is brilliant. Bukayo Saka, Aubameyang, Lacazette, Odegaard. They're a really good outfit. And they're now getting a lot of results as well. They're unbeaten in 9, I think. They're winning a lot of games comfortably. So for me, they're a really good shout. Arsenal, I really like the look of them. And of course, Brighton is another team I was going to say that really impressed me. I think they under Graham Potter playing some lovely football, and we're actually playing them this weekend. So a little bit nervous about that. I was going to ask,
are you playing them at home? Are you?
Yeah, we're playing them at home. So thankfully, it's at home. But they do scare me because they keep the ball really well, Brighton. Yeah. So it's going to be a difficult game. But I mean, our players are well rested.
Go
as well.
Brighton.
I think we'll be fine. We've got a well-rested team as well throughout the week. None of the big hitters played, so I think we'll get a result. But they're a tough team to play because they keep the ball for long periods, I think, and they do a good job of keeping the ball as well. So, yeah, so those are the teams that have really impressed me in the league.
That's really good summary, Harry. What's your prediction for the Brighton match, Liverpool-Brighton?
I'm gonna go 3-0.
Okay.
I just think we're scoring a lot of goals. It's going to be tough, but I think we'll chalk up three goals, and of course the man of the match and the star of the show is going to be Mo Salah again. Because how do you control him? I think no one stops him now.
Yeah. Yep, he's on fire. Ram, final thoughts on Manchester United? What is your hopes and fears for the next 3 matches? Sorry, go ahead, Harry.
Before you ask Ram that question, I wanted to ask you a question, very quick one, Ray. Can I ask you a question?
Of course you can. Go ahead.
Yeah. Are you rubbing your hands at facing United this weekend?
I don't think so, because the team I support is just as bad as United. So it's basically the lowest common denominators from the leagues are meeting, and we'll see what happens there. But
I've been speaking to Ram about this even in our stream. I said United players are at rock bottom right now. They're absolutely so obviously they're going to be fired up to try and put things right. I think they may start quite well, but this is the key. If Spurs, and I hope my prediction is right here, but if Spurs get an early goal at home, I think they collapse. United collapse because they're rock bottom confident. Their heads drop.
So we'll see what happens.
Will drop. And
what happens the other way if United get an early goal?
I don't think Spurs will be that bad because they haven't taken a beating like that. Not against the biggest rivals 5-0 at home. So I think if Spurs get an early goal, I think United heads drop, and I actually think Spurs come out 3-0 winners. So I'm putting my head on the line here, but I think Spurs, if they get an early goal, they'll come out 3-0 winners. Okay, we'll see what happens. Thanks for that, Harry. That's a good one. Ram, what do you think is going to happen on Saturday against Tottenham?
Well, I'm not going to make you very happy, Ray, like Hari did. So
no, this is a footy portal show, so you talk as you want.
Yeah. So I think to be honest, I'm confident that United will come back, will bounce back. I'm going to see this as a very narrow win. I don't think it's going to be like lots of goals in it. I think United will try to prove a point by defending well. So I think I'm going to go with a slender 1-0 win for United to keep the first clean sheet after 21 games. So
excellent, guys. Listen, this has been an amazing stream. Thank you very much, Harry. I'm so happy to see you happy for Liverpool, and long may it continue. I know when you come to Tottenham, you're going to thrash Tottenham as well, so it doesn't matter there. That's fine. Ram, my condolences to you for Manchester United. Unfortunately, sometimes these performances happen. It may just be an outlier once in hopefully it won't happen again. But I wish you both the best for your teams as well.
Ray, don't lie, Ray. You hope it happens again this weekend.
No. I'm an independent host. I hope everybody does well, and I don't want to see Liverpool win everything because it gets boring then.
Yes, absolutely.
So everybody, remember to subscribe to the Plot Malaysia. I'll put the link in the description. Make sure you check out Ram and Hari. They have great live streams, great interactive streams. Please do get involved with them. We've got lots of Indian subscribers on our channel. Please get involved with these guys, and we look forward to seeing you on the next stream. So thank you from Footy Portal. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, Harry and Ram. Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you, Ray. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
thanks, Ray.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.